I am a Ghanaian woman who is an actor, producer, furniture maker, and just a woman who's just trying to excel with her passions, make it work for her and her community, really. I have no acting background. My background is in finance. I did psychology in undergrad, and I did healthcare finance in grad school. And I worked in finance for about 7 years. And then I decided to move back to Ghana. And a friend of mine that I went to high school with was doing a show in African City, and she approached me and said she thought I would be good for camera. And I was completely against it. Like, I don't act, I'm not interested. But then I just decided, I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do in Ghana, and I just decided to try it, and the rest is history, as they say, yeah. It's been the most rewarding and revealing thing I've done in my life. It's really opened me up to a creative side that I always knew I had, but that I never thought I could tap into. So it really has been the most important decision that I made, to really take that leap, that leap of faith that I could do this. It's really just opened me up to a world that I never thought I would be in. I think I've always been a creative person. As far as like furniture repurposing and upcycling, it really was something that I did for mental health. It really is something that eases me, and I started doing it 5 years ago just for myself. I'm a big thrift store girl, and I would go to thrift stores and see these amazing old pieces and bring them back home and just tear them apart and make them into something that I wanted to live with. But it's interesting, because I think most creative people can relate to this. It's like, now I realize that what I was doing was creativity, or it was something. But to me, it was just, I didn't categorize it. It was just something that I was doing for myself. And then to come to Ghana and, for someone to see it and appreciate it and put a name to it for me, you're creative, you're an artist, you're a furniture maker. I was like, oh wow, then you start to connect to that. Even now it's hard when people say, oh, you're a furniture maker or you're an actor. It's like, am I? There's still that insecurity that you have as a creative if your work is worthy of being labeled, So yeah, now I'm realizing that it's always been in me. I'm just expressing it to the world more now. Well, I left Philadelphia because I wasn't happy with what I was doing in Philadelphia. But I had no plans on what I would do here. I figured I would just come back and be in finance and find a job. And I did try that. For about 4 months, I was actively looking for work, going on interviews. And every time I went on an interview, I realized that this is not what I wanted to do. Just from the first question somebody would ask me, I would be like, why am I doing this? Why have I moved my whole life to Ghana to pursue something that really doesn't move me? So my plan, actually, after 4 months, I was like, I'm just going to take the rest of the year off and do nothing. I'm going to travel. I'm just going to bum it and find my direction. And when an African City came to me, I was already in the process of thinking creatively. Like I was thinking of doing something travel related, because I love to travel. And so when African City came to me, it was like, I felt like it was fate almost pushing me in this direction that I was afraid of, or that I thought I couldn't build a life on. So it really wasn't a conscious leap, but in retrospect, I think it was the leap that I was supposed to make. If I hadn't moved to Ghana, I would still be in finance. Yeah, it's actually more intimidating being in front of the screen than being behind the screen. I actually enjoy the hectic nature of producing. It's not an easy career choice for anyone, and it's not an easy career choice in our environment in Ghana, to sustain, or to even if you think of like culturally and your family, like acting, like till this day, when I say, people know I'm an actor, and then they say, okay, well, what else do you do? Like, that's what I do, Oh my God, I don't know what you should expect from me like next week. In the next 5 years, I just think more work in front of the screen, you know, more experimental work, indie work, and then definitely a lot more work behind the scenes. I want to be involved in any project that's coming out of Ghana, coming out of the continent, that really pushes the boundaries, pushes the stories that we have, and that like make a difference, that spark interest, that make an impact. I wish there was a way to just implant this in everyone. It's like, do not waste your time on anything that does not move you. It will be a complete waste of time once you do find yourself. Because you could have spent, like for me, I always think I could have spent 8 years of my life harnessing my passions to be better, you know, and I spent it. It's not a waste because obviously I've learned a lot along the way, but fear, you know, fear holds you back. Fear holds you back so much. And you really have to find a way to push through your fear and go for what's inside. You have to. No matter who, no matter what, you have to stick with your gut and your feelings and your passions. It's very easy in this industry to become something else because there's a lot of parts of it that aren't authentic, and it's very easy to sort of turn into someone that you're not. So always being true to yourself, being authentic, nurturing relationships. You know, it's very important to nurture whatever relationships you have because a lot of work, a lot of recommendations come through relationships. And the third thing would be get over your fear. You know, if you're afraid, that's even more reason why you should do it. Because it's like the moment you take that leap, you know, you get over your fear and you take that leap, you will feel even more empowered to do the next thing. I'm an introvert, so I like to talk, but at a certain point I like silence. And you know, there's some personalities that just like to talk a lot. So it doesn't piss me off, it just drains me. Yeah, but yeah, repeating myself pisses me off. Hi, my name is Maame Adjei, and I am a game changer.